I'm out for a short wet hike at 2 Medicine in Glacier National Park. Just hiking up to a waterfall that's close to the trailhead. It's rainy, cloudy, wet, damp, moist, you name it. It's all of that. So we'll see if there's any picture to be had up here. At the waterfall, and this is one of those hard ones to shoot. So it's blocked by trees, and the stream just kind of leads up into a canyon behind me. A couple riffles down below it. But the canyon's pretty cool. It's wet. The greens are popping with the polarizer. So we'll just see what we get here, and hopefully it'll be good. For this first image, I really love how green it is. But there's not really a connection between the lower waterfall and the upper waterfall, so I feel that it's just not a cohesive image. So let's move on to the next location and let's go into that canyon and get a little bit closer to the first waterfall. So it's overcast and raining, and I'm shooting waterfalls, so I'm going to put a polarizer on it. Today's filter choice is the LB Neutral by Stingray. Because it's overcast, it's just a little too dark for the waterfall polarizer, which is what I would normally use. But I'm getting about 1 second long exposures with the LB Neutral on there, so I'd rather stick near the 1 second exposure instead of continue that outwards towards 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, something like that, depending on the angle and the waterfall. Just like in the last image, the overcast day and the wet rock, wet leaves are really causing the colors to stand out. So what I like about this image more than the last one is there's a couple different parts to it. So I love the tree on top of the rocks on the right hand side, and then the small hint that there's a waterfall up the canyon. So this image really stands out for me, and I would call it a keeper. Found a little riffle by the parking lot, giving it a shot. For this image, I love the look of the water, and I like the rich greens and the rich browns. I like how the water flows from the top of the waterfall down towards the viewer. It's really a nice memory, but it's not something that I would add to my portfolio. But it is something that I'll keep and cherish because it was fun to make. Hiking out to the second waterfall of the day. Pretty busy trail. The ranger said there's possibility of moose. We'll see if we see any. But otherwise a nice, pleasant hike. And it's just sprinkling now. It's not really raining anymore, so that's pretty awesome. I love finding wooden bridges over creeks in the national parks. They just have such a cool classic look. Check out how well the greens in this image are just popping out. That's because of the polarizer making them greener. Just gotta love that. And you gotta love these national park bridges. I think this would look great in a magazine article about Glacier and hiking there. This second waterfall is an absolute winner. This is exactly what I was looking for in a waterfall image. Love the silky look of the water. I love how the water diagonals down through that canyon to 2 separate drops, and the green is just popping out. This is something that I'm really happy with, and I wouldn't mind printing this one. All right, let's see how this polarizer works. So there's a filter on the front of the camera right now, and I'm going to turn it, and as I rotate it, you'll see the polarization action. So watch the rock just left of the bottom drop on this waterfall. When it turns dark, it's polarized. So right now it's unpolarized. See how it's kind of whitish? That's reflecting the gray of the clouds. I'll keep on rotating this, and it turns dark, and that's exactly where you want it to be. This is another beauty of a shot. If you've been counting, this is number 3. I always shoot for 5 a day, so I only have 2 more to go. I love this image because the polarizer's doing its job. You can see through the reflections on the rock, and it brings out that brown-gray color, and then the greens are just popping, and that's something the polarizer will do for you. It'll make your colors a lot more vibrant, and they'll stand out to your viewer's eyes. And just look at the speed of the water. That's excellent. Makes me want to sit there all day and watch this waterfall just flow by. Wow, this waterfall is just great. I got so many good images from here, and here's another one. So I love how the water here is crystal clear, and it diagonals from the left side of the shot straight out to the foggy gap where you can just barely make out a mountain in the distance. And the greens, because of that polarizer, are vibrant and popping. And if you notice, down in the eddy about halfway through the stream, you'll see a circle, and that's created as the foam has been twirled around in the eddy. Because it was such a long exposure, the movement of the foam translates into a circle that you can see in the water. It's so fun being able to see how water moves. At the top of Astor Park, checking out the view. It was a beautiful hike to get up here. And we'll just see if we can take some pictures. The conditions aren't that good, but maybe there'll be something workable. And for the last image of the day, this gnarly old pine overlooking the valley. There's just something about pine trees that stand guard on top of cliffs. And by using a limited depth of field, I isolated it against the background, and then the polarizer, like in previous instances, is making the green stand out. It was a good day of shooting. I just love this area of Glacier National Park, and I can't wait to get back.